I got this comic book, Star Wars issue 56, back in the end of 1981. Had it my whole life, read it a bunch of times growing up. It ends on a cliffhanger. I always wanted to know what happens next. And here in 2025, I picked up the next issue out there in the wild. It was at a convention, a comic store. I can't remember. I just picked it up like a month ago or so. And it was like their only back issue. It was the one I needed. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read this one again. Haven't read it since I was a kid. And then I get to finally see what happens in the next issue. So here we go. The universe is a place of puzzles. And for a habitual gamesman like Lando Calrissian, the challenge of those puzzles is the spice of life. But here on Cloud City, the magnificent pastel-spired metropolis, hovering high above the gas planet Bespin, he may find that spice turning to poison. I don't get it. This city's main function is mining anti-gravity gas from the planet below, an operation that takes many hundreds of people. So where are they? I mean, I figured the Empire'd make some changes when they took over, but total automation? That's impossible. And why didn't I think of it when I ran this place? Yeah, that's the bottom line, isn't it? When I ran. After all, I only came back because I felt I should have done more to keep the Empire out of Cloud City in the first place. Though finding a floating ghost town wasn't exactly part of my plan. Well, standing around moping won't help me solve that little riddle, but maybe some well-chosen questions to the city's central computer bank will. I just hope the primary coding hasn't changed since, it's working. According to this readout, the entire population of Cloud City was evacuated to Bespin because of some dire emergency. Only it doesn't say... What the? Well, what do you know? I'm not alone. How you doing, old buddy? Lobot, it's me, Lando, your ex-boss. Intruder. Danger to city. Must destroy. Whoa, that cyborg may have been a terrific aide, but as an enemy, he's something else. Like a juggernaut with the strength of a panther. Okay, some other time. This is crazy. Why is the Lobot the only one still here? Why has he gone berserk? And why the blazes am I hanging around to find out? Meanwhile, as Lando Calrissian sprints for his life, a ship is approaching the other side of Cloud City. A ship of undeniably imperial design. Cutting its engines, replacing them with dampened retros, the craft glides slowly downward, lands, and releases its full complement of ominously well-armed passengers. Step lively, troopers. Sergeant Vollet, is your bomb squad ready? Yes, sir, Captain Trees. We'll begin energy scans immediately. As soon as we've located the explosives, we shouldn't have any trouble disarming them. Good. Then we can concentrate on finding the Ugnaught scum that planted them here. Sir, the Ugnaughts have always been law-abiding workers. Did they give any reasons for suddenly turning traitors? None that concern you, soldier. Now begin scanning. However, well, Imperials. They must be that danger to the city Lobot was babbling about, which means that if I want to keep the Lobot from getting me, I've got to get them. Only first, I'll have to get their attention. Shoot him! A rebel assassin! No, you fools, he's too far away. Go after him! And don't you come back until you've got that grubber's ashes with you! The pursuit begins. While several star systems away, another journey has recently ended on the planet called Arbra, a forest world whose green, leafy facade is broken only by the peaks of jutting mountains and the glittering surface of an occasional clear water lake. It is towards this latter that a camouflaged sky speeder now turns. For Arbra has lately become the new base site for the Rebel Alliance, and this speeder is one of theirs. Swooping low, it skims swiftly over the lake and then plunges deep into a pre-mapped path between towering trees. Moving inland past branch-mounted watchposts to the mountainside cavern where other speeders receive their spray-painted patterns of camouflage, the scout craft lands and surrenders its pilot, rebel leader, and Alderanian Princess Leia Organa. Have this speeder recharged immediately, Corporal. There's an anomaly on the 9th perimeter I want to check out. Right away, Princess. Meanwhile, I'll see if I can drum up a little company. Picking her way past gun emplacements and curious hoojibs, rodent-like native R brands, Princess Leia soon comes to the core of the rebel complex. A huge grotto laced with crystalline power rods, natural formations that provide heat, light, and almost unlimited energy. Luke, I've been looking for you. Oh, hi, Leia. I'm making another run on the perimeter and could use a co-pilot. Interested? Well, I would be, but Lando hasn't reported in from Bespin yet, and I'm a little worried. So, Shira and I are going to see if he's okay. Oh, well, that was very kind of you to volunteer, Lieutenant Bree. I know Commander Skywalker will appreciate your companionship. I try to please, Princess. Yes, I'm sure you do. The two pilots leave as the crystal-warmed cave grows ever so slightly cooler. While on Cloud City, things are getting downright hot. So much for divide and conquer. I may have to split the enemy into two groups, but now I have to stop this one before it splits me into atoms. Fuckow! That shot bought me enough time to reach the carbon freezing room, the place where Vader froze Han Solo into a solid block of carbonite, and where I've just gotten one dangerous idea. As elsewhere. Good work, Sergeant. Your scans have located the first bomb. Now to... Hi, guys. Come to disarm me, have you? Hey, that's terrific. What? A talking bomb? Why not? The Uggies put us together with spare parts, and that included audio components. So do you want some help or what? You help us? Sure. Hey, look. Put yourself in my place. Would you want to explode? Of course not. Now, come on. This thing's on a time fuse, you know. Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt. Now you're cooking. Okay, guys, let's get to it. I'll just stand way over here and watch for that rebel gunman. And speaking of whom, so far so good. Those stormtroopers followed me in just like I hoped. Only, how do I get them into the freezing chamber? If this was cards or dice or slipline, I could run a bluff, but violence isn't my usual game. So now what? Smooth talk? Chicanery? Bird impressions? Ah, heck. There's never a hero around when you need one. What? Look out! Boom! They're in! All of them! But they'll be climbing right out again if I don't hit the freeze button fast! Pip! Instantly, a shower of sparkling, crackling liquid cascades from multiple nozzles, choking off a single pitiful scream. And then, that one's for you, Han, as... Almost done, fellas! One more twist on that grathometer and everything should be hunky-dory. Good, that makes one down and... Sping! Yeah, that almost sounded like we've activated the detonator instead of deactivating it. It's because you probably did. Suckers. Fa-boom! What an explosion. And now the whole city's listing. We must be losing to Bana gas. I've got to... Central Computer must have told the Lobot someone was using carbon freeze. And something tells me I'd better find another way out. Good thinking, for soon... Intruder gone. Must save city. Find intruder and kill. That explosion didn't blow too big a hole, and the emergency drones are already sealing it up. We shouldn't drop too far below. Well, Imperials. They must have been the ones with the explosives. Only it looks like they all got caught in their own trap. Thunk. Better make that almost all. Rebel. You are my prisoner! Seems to me, friend, that we're each other's prisoners. Yeah, I see your point. That might I suggest we call a truce for the sake of our mutual survival? Bad odds, but I don't have much of a choice. All right. Bad situation, but I can always alter it later. Excellent. So suppose we start by your telling me what's going on here. Very well. I am Captain Treese, Governor of Cloud City, and I am looking for 11 explosive devices planted by creatures called Ognaughts. What? Those lackeys worked in the disposal disposal rooms, separating useful components from scrap. But clandestinely, they employed some of those components to construct bombs. And if the first was typical, they're all equipped with destruct devices that block access to their detonation controls. Fortunately, the Ugnaughts gave enough warning that we were able to evacuate all citizens to Bespin. But unless we find and shut down the rest of those bombs... I know. So long, City. But why would the Ugnaughts pull a stunt like that? Quite simply, they're jealous. They wish mining operations to return to the surface of their home planet below, so they can once more be miners instead of menials. I find that hard to believe, Trees. But I guess motivations aren't important right now. We can discuss them after we found the Lobot. The Lobot? But why? Just trust me, Captain. I have a plan. Come on, Lando, think of a plan. Moments later, on an outer rim walkway, a trembling Lobot stalks and stammers. Click, intruder, find prime directives, project city, must kill. Hey, Lobot, there's something I forgot to tell you. You're fired! Looks like I struck a nerve, and unless I want to get struck back, I better put some distance between me and blast! Lobot's superhuman strength takes him 12 meters in a single leap, so it looks like I'd better take a shortcut. This access tube should get me to the next level in no time flat. Ouch! Slick move, Calrissian, but maybe too slick. I don't see the cyborg playmate anymore. Could I possibly have lost him? Kareesh! Offhand, I'd say no. The chase continues, leading at last to the freight loading facilities at Cloud City's base, where I never spend much time down here. I just hope I can find the right dead end. Now, die! Boy, are you in for a surprise. Okay, Trees. Trees? Trees! Sorry, I'm not familiar with this type of loading claw. It took me a while to get the mechanism working. Phew, better late than post-mortem, I guess. Just hold the Lobot until nothing. That claw's not holding him at all. I've got to pull the plug. Or in this case, the motivational programming capsule. Alright, Trees. He's immobile. You can put him down now. With pleasure, Rebel. I'm just glad my little ploy worked. His ploy? And soon, the way I figure it, the Ugnaughts realized that Lobot was the only one who could disarm their bombs. So they gave him a shot to the circuits and left him for dead. Only the damage didn't kill him, it just made him a little crazy. And your adjustments will cure that instability? Well, Captain, if they don't, I doubt we'll regret it for long. You needn't be concerned, sir. My mental processes are functioning normally now. Terrific. You can start breathing again, Trees. And momentarily, after an energy scan has led searchers to the dark bowels of the city. So now that we've found the second bomb, just how is your friend here gonna disarm it? Very carefully, I hope. You see, cyborgs have certain abilities the rest of us lack. For instance, they can focus energy to manipulate objects without actually touching them. With luck, the Lobot should be able to use that power to get past any safeguard mechanisms and detach the bomb's primer circuit. Oh, well, if it's that simple, perhaps I'd better scanning for the next one. I'll just... Too late, Trees. It started. From the mind of the concentrating Lobot, tendrils of cybernetic force cautiously probe, slipping past deadly triggers to find a precision-balanced primer control, and with an effort of dexterity and will beyond human capability to finally turn that vital control off. He did it! Good job, Lobot. I was merely performing my ordered task, sir. Will there be anything else? Indeed there will, and later, after 10 something elses have been located and disarmed, the danger's over, Trees. But before we can bring the citizens back, I think you and I should talk. Oh, about what? About Ugnaughts. If they really did set those bombs to protest their position, maybe you should change that position by treating them with the same respect and courtesy I used to give them. My good man, I can assure you that those little stumpwarts will get precisely what they deserve. In fact, I suggest you go tell them so. What? What I'm saying, Rebel, is the armistice is over. Thwack! Trees, you slime-licking, slit-eared son of a... Lando Calrissian's rage lasts perhaps 100 meters, at which point it is replaced by the more immediate realization that he's in big trouble. Yeah! But next issue, hello Bespin, goodbye! And that's where it sat for decades! Let's find out what happens next together! Oddly enough, the main reason Lando Calrissian had returned to Cloud City had been to rid that airborne mining colony of its Imperial governor. Odd, because that governor has just rid Cloud City of him, pushing the hapless Star Warrior through a railing and into the airy embrace of open sky. His next stop, the gas planet Bespin. 1.5 miles straight down. Help! Unfortunately, there is no one to hear Lando's plaintive cry, just as there is no one to share his last desperate thoughts. Fleeting reflections of his recent success at repairing a damaged and deranged Lobot, and in using that cyborg to disarm a dozen bombs planted on Cloud City by dissenting Ugnaught workmen. But such thoughts are quickly cut by a more bitter memory, that of a delicate truce made with the city's current magistrate, Captain Treese. An armistice shattered by the kick that had hurled Lando headlong into deadly space. But even bitterness soon fades, lost in horror as Lando watches his only prayer for salvation shrinking farther and farther away. Is it not a pity, Lobot? I mean that Bespin lies so far below. Why, I doubt we'll even be able to hear the splat. I have analyzed the situation, Captain Treese, and have concluded that while the neutralized explosives no longer pose a threat to this city, you do. And since Citizen Calrissian is the one most likely to defeat you, he must be recovered. Oh, and just who is going to perform that little miracle? I am. What? Have you gone mad again? Just what the devil you think you're doing? These life jets were placed at intervals around the city's perimeter for emergency use in case of accident. It matters not whether that accident be natural or man-made. Stop, you fool! You'll never survive! Never! But Lobot, being a cyborg, feels no fear. He feels merely a rush of sudden wind and the incomparable freedom of plunging, unfettered flight. This life jet may not be able to lift us both back to Cloud City, but I should at least be able to slow Mr. Calrissian down if I can reach him. Sir, it will be necessary for you to decrease your rate of descent in order for me to catch up with you. Like how? I don't skid too well on clouds. No, but you can turn over and extend your limbs, thereby creating a greater wind resistance. Oh, excellent, sir. The distance is decreasing already. Remain calm. Remain calm? When I'm about to... Hey, he was right. He is getting closer. He's gonna do it! Hit those rockets, Lobot, fast! Precisely what I had in mind. Flash! Well, that was it. He was saved by Lobot. Until next time!